Hello and welcome back to Late Night Charge. I'm your host, Joe Brown, alongside my trusty sidekick who likes long walks on the beach and sipping pina coladas. Dave Puglisi, did you write this again?
I may have messed with the teleprompter before the show.
Well, anyways,
It was bland.
We've officially hit the dog days of the season, all right? That's why Dave's trying to spice it up with the teleprompter. Let's take a look back at some of our awesome moments this season. Hello and welcome to Late Night Charge. I'm your host, Joe Brown. This is my co-host, Dave Puglisi. Dave, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Joe. How about yourself?
Hello and welcome to the Late Night Charge. Hello and welcome to the show. Hello and welcome to Late Night Charge, our second week. Former governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger, personally sent us his support.
Man, I just love that guy's movies. Did you see him in Remember the Titans?
Denzel Washington?
That was the name of the coach. You're right, dude. He kills it in that role.
Okay.
Come over here.
Okay.
Come over here.
Okay.
Come over.
Get ready.
Oh my God. Retweeting now. My whole life.
Puglisi Hall.
Oh, now listen, Joe. I don't know who submitted that name, but that is my personal.
You think that the proper movie to watch with the head coach of the football team is The Notebook?
Everybody has a sensitive side, Joe Brown. Huh?
What?
Barack Obama was there for one day.
Mm-hmm.
One. He got his call.
His call?
Yeah. From Coach Ross, Joe. Remember? We talked about this. The movie? The popcorn? The Notebook, Joe.
To shave his head.
Sorry,
But last minute, Zonnie was like, I will not shave my head, being the sore loser that he is, and he threw in $100 at the last minute, and there was only a $9 difference after. So now he looks like a little monk when we're on campus.
I'll have to go, I'll say Batman. Genius intellect, black belt in 125 or some ridiculous
27.
number, 20. All right, Joe, all right, I'm done.
It's a whole lot of fun. Like me, I'm the type of person that loves to meet new people. Like it's definitely great.
I am the big game. I will win all the time in Mario Party.
I've never, ever beat this kid. I mean, it's come down to like literally everybody else just stinks. We'll be stealing all his
last
stars.
turn, and I'll just be cruising with about 4 or 5 stars.
I think it's kind of like handball too. You're not really sure what it is. Once you play it once, you're in, you love it, you want to keep playing it over and over again.
A lot of rape, there's abuse, there is a lot of controversial topics.
Back in '68, when sophomore Grizzly Berenstein literally fell apart on stage. I mean, he dismantled himself.
What? Wow, Matt, that sounds scary.
That it was. Still have his foot.
Could you whisper in my ear the things you want to feel?
We have a wonderful show for you tonight. Past USGA President Zonnie Ivatovsky, along with USGA presidential nominees Paul Rafael and Rich Rotella. But first, Dave, let's get to the news.
Let's do it, Joe.
So last week, the voting for this year's USGA president and treasurer began. After 3 days and a record number of votes casted, none of the 4 candidates received 51% of the vote, which is what they need, simple majority. Those two that actually, what they decided to do, Dave, was they had two. They're going to narrow it down from 4 to 2, have a revote. Let's see what happens.
Wait.
It's what?
So you're telling me that there's no president right now?
Yes, that's what I just said.
There's no rules, and I can't.
Dave, put your shirt back on.
Oh, there's one rule.
Okay, Dave. Well, as we know, March Madness has started. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah, Joe. Joe, it has.
Have you forgotten how to put a jacket on?
Joe, I can't
You know
do
what?
this.
Just throw it.
No.
Just throw it, Dave.
No.
Okay. Well, let's talk about March Madness for a little bit.
You mean Spring Break 2014? Unforgettable, Joe Brown. I mean, unless you're like a lightweight like Jeff Rogers and you'll forget the whole thing.
No, I'm not talking about Spring Break when you went to Florida. I'm talking about March Madness, like NCAA basketball.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. How's your bracket looking? I heard you picked the Huskies. Is that because you really like Shabazz Napier? He's going off.
Who is Joe? I chose the Huskies because they're the cutest dog of all time. Way better than those ugly Gators.
They're not even dogs. Like, you can't compare a dog to a gator.
No. But a husky is the prettiest animal on the face of the earth.
Okay, but you're that like awkward guy in the office that like does the March Madness bracket.
You mean the genius in the office?
Yeah, the genius that chooses it by like colors, and it's like, oh, my ex lived in this city, so I'm not gonna like choose this team, and usually it works out for them. But Dave, really not for you. You had some pretty bad picks.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Hey, don't hate the player, Joe. Hate the game.
Life lesson, can't argue with that. So, Dave, baseball season's back.
The penny.
Are you excited for baseball and the penny?
Yeah, I am. And you know what? Baseball is a really sore subject for me, Joe Brown. Because first of all, that penny can pay for literally 95% of the Mets' payroll. And the Mets are 0 for 3. You know what, Joe? I literally could have scripted opening day for the Mets, all right? Couldn't get any better, all right? So first of all, right? All right. So David Wright, only guy that seems to be any decent. You know, he's having a solid day.
Captain.
You know, Curtis Granderson, big offseason signing, 0 for 5, 3 Ks, obvious. All right. So the pitchers pitch great game. Mets are up 5-4, right? Then we let the bullpen come in, right? The bullpen, all right?
The luxurious Mets bullpen.
So Bobby Parnell, the closer, yeah, he's supposed to be the man, right? 2 outs. Bottom of the ninth, full count.
Dramatic.
Runner on first base. What's he do? He walks the guy. Next guy, single, run scores. Oh, we're going extra innings. Turns out he tore his elbow. He's going to be out for like a month. I could have predicted that too. Anyways, Mets blow it and lose as per usual. And you know what? It's going to be a really long year, Joe Brown. A really long year. Maybe next year.
Well, I mean, it could be. I want to say it could be worse, but it really can't. It's nothing worse than being a Mets fan.
Joe, I expect it to get worse.
Let's go into good news. So we tried to break Ellen's record with the retweet from the selfie. How many retweets did we get?
All right, Joe, ready? You're going to love this. Ready? Drum roll, please. 5 retweets.
You've got to be kidding me. You're excited for... We
Joe,
tried to break 3 million retweets.
Joe, it is a personal victory. I've never gotten that many retweets in my life.
That just means you're not funny on Twitter, Dave.
It doesn't mean that. It just means I don't have many followers. But follow @Pugs166 on Twitter for very intellectual tweets.
All right, well, I'm going to unfollow you after that. But anyway, we have a great show for you tonight. Stick
Hold
around.
up, Joe.
Wait, what?
Before you do this, let me take a selfie.
Dave, how did you take so many selfies in that short amount of time? I don't understand how that worked.
Well, it's better to just not think about it.
Dave Puglisi, that's how he works, never thinking. Anyways, we have a great show for you tonight. As I was saying, stay tuned on the Late Night Charge. It's going to be awesome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, folks.
How is everybody tonight?
How are you guys doing?
Why are you copying me?
You're my role model. I do what you do.
Ah, I see. Certainly was a good dinner we had last night.
Sure was. It was delicious.
Could have used a beer and some tequila shots.
Whoa. I don't agree with that.
But you're supposed to follow my lead.
Not in this. I'm no dummy.
I want to introduce a very special guest, USGA president. He's pretty awesome. He's one of the coolest guys on campus on opposite day, Zani Ivatovsky. How you doing, Zani?
Good. How you doing?
You're just such a great guy, and you're so awesome that the school got to roast you.
Yeah.
Last week, and how was that? How was the experience of people like making jokes at your expense?
I mean, they tried to roast me, but you know, it's very difficult to roast me. They did terrible. I did the best. I'm joking.
I'm joking. You're like an open book, like just rack them off and make jokes.
No, it was pretty fun. I liked everyone who roasted me. They did a really good job. They hinted to things that I didn't know they knew. Kobe did a great job. Kobe shared things that I never wanted ever to be shared with anyone.
Well, Kobe was not the only one that knew about those things.
Oh, God.
And now the whole world knows.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, got an important question for you.
Yes.
How's it feel to be a lame duck president?
Feels great. Great.
Really?
No. I don't. But the
I
thing
can't
is,
gauge you. You're like a politician. You could be lying to me.
I know that. I mean, that's what we do. But like I was saying, It does feel okay, but we still don't have a president yet. It's still between the two other candidates. So it's really like I am semi-lame duck. But even if I'm lame duck, I still have to work.
So you're kind of just like loser duck right now. You're not lame.
Yeah, I'm just there. I'm there. I'm here. Everyone's stuck with me till another month, 2 months.
So there's no anarchy?
There's no anarchy.
Contrary to Dave's belief.
So you're telling me right now, if I go outside, nothing's gonna be on fire?
Yeah, I hope to God not.
All right.
Speaking, well, so I think that like one thing that you guys did really well as like a USGA like e-board and everything was just like meeting with the student body and like always being engaging and like making everyone feel welcome. And was that like one of your things from day one, or did like that just like come over the summer where you realized it? Like, what was your thoughts behind that?
My thoughts were, we're student government, but we can have fun with it too. So it was from day one. I wanted to make sure the e-board, USGA in general, that when we have to do business, we get business done, but we have a little bit of fun too. I try to throw in jokes in there. Usually people don't laugh, but out of courtesy, they kind of giggle. And then Andrew Collins, my e-board, Megan, Kobe, everyone on my e-board is just great. They're fun to be around. They help me out when I'm there, and I hope I'm there when they need it.
What were you most proud of accomplishing in all this
In
whole
your
year?
illustrious USGA
In my illustrious 1 year, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't know. I know for a fact that in next year, hopefully, it's already in the budget. We're gonna have grass in the quad. I'm not gonna be able to see
They've
it.
been saying it for years.
I
I'm
know.
not listening.
You know what?
Not getting my hopes up anymore.
Unrealistic claims. All
Stop.
right.
President Kaplan said he's gonna put it in the budget for next year. What they're gonna do is returf it, but I guess there's pipes under there.
Resod.
Or something is under there.
Some science thing.
Some science thing. So
it's really just people walking on it.
Speaking of Kaplan, though, since this is our presidential episode, I actually had an interaction with Kaplan today. It was there's 30% chance that it was the greatest moment of my life.
Joe's claim to fame right here.
I was walking into Maxie, coming to Late Night Charge, and
Naturally.
gotta get ready, and then the door opens, and I see Kaplan himself, and he's like, hello, and I'm like,
the man,
and then he stands on the other side, and then he holds it, and then I walk through, and I'm like, thank you. Oh my God. Stevie K, Zani, held the door for me.
He's a great guy.
Capigulo.
Does that make you jelly?
It does. Because if I get like an email from him every once in a while, I feel special. Even though it probably comes from his secretary, and he doesn't know who I am.
He prints them out, puts them on his wall.
I do.
Zani's got a big collage.
You walk into my enormous office.
Huge office.
You walk into my huge office. They're just framed up. The 2 emails he sent me.
You know one thing I'm not gonna miss?
What?
You and your ridiculous phone calls throughout the entire office.
Oh my God, the internal workings of USGA with those phones are the best invention ever.
But yeah, it was just like 30 minutes straight of every 5 seconds. Just, I'm like, oh my God, Zani. And you say, from his door. It's been wonderful to have you on. You're literally one of our favorite people in the world, and you did a great job as president with USGA. Hopefully the next presidents will be able to learn from you and keep the tradition going. And we really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys inviting me.
All right, when we come back, we'll have Paul Rafeel and Richard Teller. This is the Late Night Charge.
Young people are influenced by the internet, television, and peer pressure, among many other things. These influences may often lead them down the wrong path, but there's a way to reverse the situation. You can counteract the negative influences and stop alcohol from falling into their hands. By talking to your son or daughter, you can be a positive influence and make the difference.
Welcome back to Late Night Charge. We have a very special little thing going on. We have the final 2 candidates for USGA president. We all know how it went, but that's pretty weird, and it's pretty prestigious for the first time in UNH history, the most votes ever, and the school didn't have a consensus pick. What do you guys think about it? Oh, sorry, duh. Paul Rafeel, just so if you don't know who they are, I know I said in the opening their names, but Paul Rafeel and Richard Teller. So what do you guys think, Paul Rafeel and Richard Teller?
I think it's great that this was the highest number of votes ever cast at UNH for USGA. It just goes to show that we had some great candidates running, and for the first time ever, there also was not a majority. So since we had 4 candidates running, no one reached the 51%. So now it's narrowed down to me and Rich. So it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I feel like we're in the Hunger Games now, for real. Narrowing it down slowly
Not like
but surely.
last week in Paul's UNH Hunger Games.
No, but the real Hunger Games, and one of us will not die, but still be here and be the USGA president.
You never know.
You never know what's going to happen.
Oh.
Things get intense here.
Well, no. Okay, so I was wondering. So we had the Hunger Games last week. Both Dave and I competed. Don't talk to Dave about it. He's very upset at the outcome because he died. But if you, we hear Dave in the control room right now, so upset. If you guys were competing in the actual Hunger Games, how do you think you would do?
I think it all comes down to like who you align yourself with, because you need to pick like a core group of people that are on the same side as you, and you can't rely on yourself. So you need to make sure you have a group of people that you trust with you and work off each other's strengths.
Now, are you going like strictly the movie Hunger Games? Like
As in,
one of us is going to have to win and everyone else
you're from, like,
dies?
I don't know, District 1 and District 2 or whatever you're
Okay.
representing. Like, how would you fare against 23 other people trying to kill you?
I would work my hardest. I would try until I am the last and final succeeding person in winning this Hunger Games. I mean, if that's the honesty, I can't say I would work with someone in a Hunger Games setting because then I'm going to have to kill my friend. But I would try my hardest to do the best I possibly can with it.
I like this. We're getting deep on Late Night Charge. So you guys are both in the Sigma Chi fraternity. Had Derby Days last week. A big, bunch of event, raised a lot of money, over 3,000, something like that. And then Siglo, you're a part of because you helped set it up because you're with Scope. And then similar to like Swimsuit Sprint, and Scope also helps with that. So how is it to like deal with such important events on campus that everyone's like kind of relying on?
I really enjoy everything that I've done with Scope and everything. I'm really looking forward to this year's spring concert. And with those events, it depends on the students and how a student's, Com Club did a huge, great help for Swimsuit Sprint. But, how they did and how we all work as a cohesive group, I think that's the real beauty behind it, and how we can handle such huge, large-scale events with so much stress and so much pressure and be able to achieve what we do is a great feat, and I'm really excited to be a part of that.
Well, Paul, you're actually one of the members of Com Club, and you're at all these productions. It's the first time you're on camera for the show, but you've been here running around screwing at people to sign the point sheets and everything. But one thing awesome with you is like you've traveled the world. You've been to Spain, you've been to London. You saw Thor 2 being filmed. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
And then South Korea. How are those experiences that you're gonna hold on to for the rest of your life?
Like those were all like incredible opportunities to study abroad while I was at UNH. And even just to tie it in with like the USGA elections, like there's a lot that I've learned, especially from studying at Goldsmiths University of London and then the Korean National Police University. They have completely different types of student governments. So I really hope to bring some of the positives from those to our USGA as well.
All right, and then the final thing, there's this rumor going around that the real reason that somebody runs for USGA president is so that they can have control of the projector. It's a hot commodity in USGA.
The projector remote.
Right? Care to comment?
For me, I'm not really doing it to control the projector.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I love this campus a lot, and a lot of people see me giving tours and whatnot, and telling people how great it is. And I want to make sure that every student feels the same and realizes how great UNH is, and how we as a campus can unite and form a more cohesive student voice, so that the people on the second floor of this building don't forget who's actually going here.
Yeah, USGA means a lot to me. I've been a senator for the past 2 semesters. I've been on 5 committees within USGA, and I really feel like there's a lot that all of us can bring to the table to bring USGA moving forward to help build a more connected campus community.
Well, thank you guys for coming on today. It's been a really awesome experience to have the first time where you got the revote and everything, and it's just really cool. So, also, Zani, what else can we say about Zani for the last year? He's been great, and it was awesome to get him too. Very awesome presidential episode we're having today. When we come back, we're going to interview our musical guest, Kevin OBrien. Stay tuned. This is Late Night Charge.
While teens are ultimately responsible for the decisions they make, their parents also play an important role in influencing those decisions.
Look both ways before crossing the street. Do your homework early and you'll have more free time. I don't really care if you drink.
But what happens when you give the wrong advice?
Our beer's in the fridge. I hope you and your friends have a great time.
Parents, remember that your actions have a direct impact on your children's decisions.
Welcome back to Late Night Charge. Please welcome our musical guest, the man with the wonderful Irish name, Kevin OBrien.
Kev.
Good to see you.
How you doing, Kev?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So we first met. We went to an Oscar party together with Scope, and it was a lot of fun. You and I were going back and forth.
Movies,
it was
what we like.
it was
What
pretty
we-
intense. I think we end up winning the same amount, or it was pretty close. It was pretty heated.
To be fair, I didn't think 12 Years a Slave was going to be Best Picture. I guess I had everything on Gravity. I don't know why. I guess that's what you get for having your nominations as Gravity.
Yeah, hey, you live by gravity, you die by gravity. I got 7 of the awards right just because I put Gravity. When in doubt, Gravity.
Hey, I picked Frozen as Best Everything in the animation category.
Hey, that was a smart
Solid
decision.
choice. Solid choice.
So you're not really from far away. You're from somewhere in CT, right?
Yes, Stratford, Connecticut. 20 minutes away, not far.
Okay. And you play guitar, but you play some other instruments. How long have you really been into music?
Well, I actually started music in 2003 in my elementary school. I played clarinet for the first time. It was my first instrument. Then I got to play tuba in high school, learned bass guitar. I actually learned guitar like in the middle of middle school and high school. That's when I felt maybe I should be a guitar player.
That's a lot. Do you ever feel like I hate to say they're weird instruments because they're not. I guess they're just not as conventional or
mainstream.
Pop,
Like
not
people aren't
mainstream.
pumping tubas in the quad. Like you know what I mean?
Well,
there
I
was
think
this
people would laugh
one
at
guy I
that,
know who goes to Berkeley. I'm pretty sure he's done it at least.
Well, do you feel like some of those less popular instruments kind of get underappreciated?
Well, it's not to say underappreciated. I mean, you go on pop stations, whatever radio stations, I'm sure you're going to hear an abstract instrument sooner or later. When I heard mandolin on the song Iris, Goo Goo Dolls, when I was 5, it was like, whoa, what is this instrument? I want to play it. And I actually remember hearing a clarinet in a old Panic at the Disco song. It was pretty odd. It was one of those songs that I just felt comfortable knowing that someone's adding instruments in. Orchestras too. I really love it when orchestrations are added to songs. It really gives that feel.
Now,
That extra sound, extra emphasis.
Going back to film, you told us before how before music you were interested in more of a Disney route or a Pixar route, right?
No, yeah, Pixar. Well, the thing was when I was in middle school, it was a career class I had to take. What was I gonna do, as a career? I wanted to go to UCLA to study animation design and work with Pixar's because it was I love the movies, but Mom told me that I'm not gonna pay 50 grand or something to fly all the way to California and come back just for the holidays.
Yeah.
I felt too distant.
Mom knows best, right?
Right.
You can't.
Mom's crushing dreams since '93.
But at least that didn't break in the way of what my other aspects. I do enjoy film. I still love music, and around that time, that's when I met these guys that were starting a band, and they asked me to join, and I said yeah.
Well, speaking of your band, don't you have you have a gig coming up at the Space, right? That's pretty cool.
Yes, it's in May. We are the 30th of February. I play guitar and do some backing vocals for it. We'll songwrite occasionally, but we're playing a show at the Space, and we're hoping to put out some new songs soon.
Nice.
30th of February. I mean, I don't want to be that guy.
That
but
guy. You're not the only one.
It doesn't exist.
You're not the only one.
Are you guys? Do you also not exist?
That
You just get on
just
stage.
hit me. I didn't
and
realize.
we're the 30th of February. Oh, no, we don't exist.
And
you just run
everybody
off.
just sits there and they're like, the 30th of February, oh yeah.
All the
It's
jokes.
so artsy. It's so avant-garde.
All the jokes in the world have been made to this point for 7 years at least. Well,
Would you guys have been together that long?
Well, we haven't actually had the name for that long. It's been high school we had it. So.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. I look forward to your song. It's an original song, and I love guitar, so I'm really interested.
Yeah,
when we come
that's
back,
good.
Kevin's going to perform with his original song. Stay tuned. This is Late Night Charge.
Most parents and their children have a special relationship. Over time, this relationship can be challenged when a child becomes curious with new things. At one point, alcohol may come into the picture. Curiosity and the need for acceptance emerge and can overshadow life at home. By talking to your kids about the dangers of drinking, you can encourage them to make the right decisions. Set the tone early. Don't wait until the opportunity is gone. What have you got to lose?
Welcome back to Late Night Charge. Please welcome our musical guest, Kevin OBrien.
This song's called Walk On Joey. It's about absolutely nothing, and yes, it is a line from Warhorse.
If I'm gonna leave this, I'm quitting. Find me on the edge of the cliff, I'm sinking in the whir of the wind, wanting to get out like the loneliest addict when he's losing himself. We played these songs together. I got a melody that's stronger than your last goodbye. Please don't let this go. But if you want me to leave, then go ahead, go ahead. Don't let last year become a splinter on my skin. It's the only thing that's keeping me from sleeping. No one can break this voice so easily. It sits and it waits for a skeleton key. If I'm gonna leave this, I'm out the door. I'm sinking to the floor. It's such a shame it ended like this. Is there still time for me to catch this lick of this life of mine? Please don't let this go. But if you want me to leave, then go ahead, go ahead. Don't let last year become a splinter on my skin. It's the only thing that's keeping me from sleeping. Mother always asks me, son, when you gonna shine? I called her one day and said I was shining this whole time. Dream the escape, the brands you break. One more day, it will all go our way. Mama always asks me, son, when you gonna shine? I called her one day and said I was shining this whole time, shining this whole time.
Awesome job, Kevin. I want to thank him for coming on. I want to thank all of our other guests today. Our very presidential episode with Zani and Rich and Paul. It's been an awesome time. We're going to go fight corporate crime. We'll see you next time on Late Night Charge.